Okay, today we're going to start about the pandas. So
Oh,
that's important. Like that's very important in the Python operator. You're going to use for data storage or transformations. I think pandas is a very important topic in Python by default. And in Airflow also it's very important actually because now we're going to integrate Airflow and pandas. So I'm going to cover as a mixed so that it will help you on the Airflow side and the same way it is going to help you on understanding pandas also, the both combinations.
okay.
So it means like we are going to use the pandas directly and we can use that, we can create a Python virtual environment and then we can use the pandas within an environment. Why? Because pandas is required a package version. We need to install a package pandas, but as part of the requirements we can give. So now what we'll do is, as we have a Docker, so what we're going to do is here, we're going to use the Docker in the container. We're going to create a virtual environment. Virtual environment. You know this one, right? In Python, what we do is we will create a virtual environment. Why? Because the required packages, the required Python version, the required installations, everything will do in a package. Everything will do in this virtual environment. So that
Oh,
in this virtual environment, what will happen is everything works like a package. The problem, if you do it outside, you'll get one issue about Python versioning issue or package issue, your system issues, and you'll see so many things. But instead of disturbing your system or anything, normally even in the real time or even in the uh, anywhere, we will create the requirement file, the requirement.txt. Like we will put all the packages and what is the virtual environment we can require so that we can capture your packages list and everything. So now we are going to create this virtual environment. In that, we'll install the pandas. We'll install the pandas in this, and we have Python is available by default in this, so that we can integrate this. We can integrate this in the Docker in the worker container. So, what we do is we're going to take the data uh, and we can load the data and we can apply the pandas for creating as a table format, and then you can use it as your as your data transformations or storage anything. Okay, right. So now let's see. First, as Python environment, we can automatically we can use the package from the Airflow itself to create that actual environment. So that we'll see practically how we are doing. So before that, um, let's see about some pandas introduction part. We'll see practically. Pandas is fully practical. It's wasting of time for discussing theoretically. So what we are doing as a pandas in Python, pandas is a best library that will use for your data manipulation and then same way for the data analysis. So like it provides like a structure related. So it's all structured data format. You can create your data frames. Data frame is nothing but what is the meaning of data frame? It's a logical table. So
okay.
it works like logical table. So it works. So you just think like it's like a table. It's like logical table, and we can load our data into these, and we can query, and we can apply the transformations. So we can do it. So we'll see step by step for the next few seconds. we are going to see using pandas Python combinations, uh, because 80 to 90% of your work in Airflow or in Python as data engineer or whatever it is, uh, mainly on the Airflow side also, you will use this combination, Python with pandas combinations. And the remaining 20%, you'll get something like you'll integrate the other packages, the other operators that you need from different databases or different servers for the source and destination connectivities. But in between, once you got data from your source, what you do? You do some analysis, right? You do some process, right? That you do with the pandas only. So uh, that we'll see now. So using pandas, we can read any type of the file. So, and now we can have some, first we'll see some CSV files, and later we'll see how we can. So now instead of loading as a CSV, so I'll take it from the GitHub, and from the GitHub, I will load as a CSV file. There are some open source files is available. You can use it. Now we'll see one of the file in this case. Okay. We'll see practically, and we'll discuss uh, all the things while doing practically itself. We can discuss the points. So now I'm going to the DAX. So now I'm going to create a new file. So I'll take for example, let me call pandas. Say pandas analysis and underscore version 1, or let me call this one a Python file. So I just created a pandas underscore the analysis files, and now, okay, I'll start importing operators. So as you know, I'll just take it some of the, let me take it from Python operators. Actually, okay, we can change. So I'm importing a tag time, and now I'm going to import from the Python. I'll take so Python virtual environment operator, and so now I'll just log the details. I'm just doing logging so that I can capture the more logging details. You can use a get logger, just name is fine. So now what I will do is, let me just give some details about the execution path. So path to Python, the binary, I'm going to give some dot executable. Okay, next, as you know, we'll take the tag. Let me take this tag. I'm just taking a tag. I'll take it as a pandas analysis. And the default, I missed default arguments. Okay. And here is showing days ago. This one, right? Okay. 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 So this is pandas analysis. Okay. So yes, I did the tag, and now I'm taking alias tag. Um, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to define first, I'm going to check. is Python virtual environment is created or not. Because if it is not created, we have to install that package. By default, it is available. So if we have any issue on the availability, we can increase the version. We can increase the version of the Docker. So if you have any issue with your Docker, you can use my Docker. I have that version is availability. But I can give it a try now by checking how we can check if not is virtual environment installed. It was, you just throw me the error. So I'm just asking, just give me the error logged out warning. Um, just say the virtual Python environment, Python, it's a package name. Virtual Python operator like this is required virtual environment package. Just please install something like this. You can write so that it will throw the error. Um, so, but this one where this package, where the function is importing from the library from the Python operator. This is a part of this operator, so we can use it. Okay, right. If it is available, then I need to. So if you observe here, what we are doing, we are checking is this in the container. We are checking is the virtual environment is available. If it is available, then install the pandas.
Okay.
So we need to install the requirements. Okay, right now we are doing pandas, but in actual Python libraries, if anything required, we can put the list of the file and you can install more. So for now, let's go with the pandas one. So here, if if it is not installed, it will throw the error and the job will stop. If suppose if it is already installed, then it will come to the else, then I'll start the task. Start the task from here. In the task, where the task you want to execute in the virtual environment. So here I'm just asking task ID. So in the task ID, suppose I'm asking, okay, this is a task belongs to virtual environment Python. And okay, here you need to give what is your requirements. What is this? In the Python, okay, you are using pandas library, right? So I want to install pandas. Basically, you can give some versioning, some 2 point, 1 point something, but I don't prefer any versioning because um, basically this versioning problem, you'll get an issue when working with the machine learning models. Some libraries will not match with the existing Python. Okay, right now, this Python has some version, maybe 3.7, 3.8 something. So for that, there is a pandas supporting library. For those type of issues, you will normally not get in analysis phase. Mainly, you'll get on the machine learning related those things. Um, but on your practice, you can just use library just a name. So it'll take that if you give a name, what will happen? It will take the latest one, latest version. So it should be fine. And I'm just taking now the default package, system side packages. So false. I'm just asking just to install only this package. Okay. Now, till now, what we did, we're just creating a virtual environment and we are checking. In the first step, we are checking, is it available? If it is available, install pandas. That's it. First step.
Okay.
So, because to use the our analysis, first we need the library, right? So if I say this is a virtual environment, So the first thing is you need to make ready for using pandas. Yes, I'm making ready for using pandas. And the next step is in that I'm going to call the function. So I'm just asking, okay, define pandas read. Suppose I'm just asking to read only. First we'll see read. So in the read, so here, what is the package I'm planning to use? Pandas, right? So import pandas alias PD. This is the default for pandas. Now I'm importing pandas. If you missed this step, the requirement step, you will get the warning, you will get the error like, okay, this library is not available. Then you have to install. So instead of installing manually in container, I'm giving as a command to the virtual environment, okay, this is the requirement to go to the next step. So now I'm importing. Now, as I said, we can load a CSV file here, or you can upload your data. Um, let's say I have a URL for the data. Okay, just I think that's from Git repository. Let me take that. So I'm just taking CSV underscore URL equal to. So I'll just pass HTTPS. I have actually, you'll find all the details in the GitHub repository. You find all the most of the source files for GitHub. Um, if if I think you know Kaggle, if you know Kaggle, in Kaggle you can find all data sets. So you'll find them if you find the most of data sets, lot of data sets is free. It's a free. This is actually we use mainly for machine learning. But suppose I'm looking for something wine ratings data set, for example. Suppose you'll find some data inputs. Um, let me go data sets. So wine inputs. Wine rating. I know there is a one data set called one. Yeah. But, I mean, we can't use this code. This code is mainly for data science related, but you can use it happily for the data sets to play. You can get something, you'll get some URLs here, or you can get some Git URLs. Now I can give the Git URL. I know one URL. Um, basically, this is coming from GitHub user content.com. Um, so there's a file name called wine ratings. If you got directly a URL from the Google or this Kaggle, you can use it. If not, you can use it any available URLs. Or you can download some CSV files. You can use it. Right now, I'm going this approach. After this, we'll see other ways of approach. So I would like to show you how we can download from URL. So this is URL. You can use it. Now I want to load this data. This is the end of the CSV file, right? CSV file.
Yes.
So this data I want to load to pandas. So now I have CSV file. I want to load to pandas. Okay. So I'm taking data frame, which is I call df. So here I'll call the pandas alias pd dot read CSV. Simple. Just that's it. So if you see, if you remember, like we did the first day, some code. Yeah, I think this one, right? If you see,
It's a table, yeah.
if you observe here, we did some manual way of loading. Uh, I think, yeah, this one, yeah. On this one, like for loading, okay, right, split like a doing looping the for loop, loading line by line into the file, into the writing. This is this is the actually core Java functionality using a lot of coding. But if you observe through pandas, it's just a one line to load a CSV file. That's it. So I'm just giving a URL. That's it. So I'm just taking, okay, you take this URL, download as a CSV into your data frame. Okay. So like this. Okay, I want to see this. Okay, I'll just call data frame dot head. Okay, well, I just want to see 10 records first, and we'll see the transformations later. And this one, okay, I'm just returning. So just return. So this head, I want to load to suppose CSV into where what is our location? Default location, OPT, Airflow, right?
Yeah.
Into what format? Um, into CSV format. I'll just call head. I'll say df underscore head. Only the head data I'm loading into this file. Head means 10 records only. I'm calling the top 10 records. Like in a SQL query, we'll write the select the top 10 records from table, right? The same way. So we are heading the data 10 records, and then we are loading here. So that's it. Now I'm going to call pandas underscore task equal to, I'm just calling this function because I want to execute this function. So I put the function and I'm calling the function here. So this is the format we can do it. Now, if you see, okay, if you see, we got some issues. So we got logging error, just import logging package. And we got sys error. Yes, import sys library. And anything else? So I'll just specify this catch up equal to false. Okay, functionality again import from decorators from Airflow decorators import task. Okay. Okay, I think it's taking as a new statement. Sorry, here why I specified this and you're calling alias tag again. Stay with the tag, right? The tag, yes. So now this one, let me call back. Okay, perfect. So I'm just reading a CSV file, loading into pandas. This is actually pandas reading CSV and displaying here head and returning to the loading to CSV means which is we are loading into CSV the result. This is like a bit transform we are doing, and then we are calling pandas task. Simple. So now let me docker compose hyphen. Fine. So now I'll go to the Airflow localhost 8080. What is the name of our tag? Here we got error anyway. What is the name? Task decorator. Task decorator. Virtual environment not found. Pandas analysis. Okay. Go to the graph. So you can see here. So you can see the task name, virtual environment. Yes. Virtual environment Python. Yes. So we got it. So now I'm going to run this job. Our job is running. Job is completed. Great success. Now let's check the log.
Okay.
Okay, this is you need to understand carefully. So if you see the step by step, first step is virtual environment. So I give my email ID and all the stuff. Yes. And see, it is executing, it is loading into virtual environment. It is going to virtual environment.
Okay.
And then see, it is doing the pip install. Actually, we do this command pip install requirement.txt.
Okay. Yeah. On the command line. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is doing automatically. Okay. And so here what we requested pandas, right? So if you see the pandas started downloading pandas. So in the virtual environment, this is installing automatically by giving the name. And there are dependencies. We have NumPy, Python data ptouch. It's all dependency for the pandas. So it is automatically installing those packages also. So it is installed targeted packages. So I just gave only pandas, but this is installing the dependency package for pandas also automatically. This is good. So like this, you can use so many. Like you can put comma, you can use multi packages, or you can pass your own requirement.txt file here. Why? If
Okay.
you suppose in my Python function, I'm using a very different multi libraries I'm using. In that scenario, you can specify your own requirements. Right now, my requirement is only pandas. But if you have a list of requirements, you can specify your pandas, you can your requirement file. So if you observe here, what happened next and next, so it is taking the commands, okay, yeah, and then next it is taking the pandas and reading. There is internal job, there is internal pandas, and now the output. So I mean, at the output, I'm not asking to anything to show. There is no printing, but I'm asking to write into the CSV, right? So this is the job is success, and we got the result. Fine, but where is the result is storing? Into this location, right? Okay. So now I'm going to Docker exec. I'm going to worker node. So like
Okay.
yesterday we did right the same way. Going to worker, and now you can check. See, I got df head.csv, right? This one.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you just cat, you can see. See, this is the data result. This is a so I'm asking to display 10 records. Start from the zero. This is all one record. So first record. I mean zero, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. You'll see until nine. In nine,
Okay.
nine, and this is all the CSV because CSV. So we got commas and the data. So this is like we are uh, reading CSV is in pandas. From pandas, we can apply any transformation, but right now I'm just taking a small thing just to show you for the head, and then we are reading. So it means we are reading, transforming, and then we are writing the results, and we call pandas. So this is a simple pandas exercise using a CSV file, but we have a lot of things will play. Like the whole ETL is going to perform using pandas only. So we'll see a lot of scenarios in this. So, and this pandas is install everything in the virtual environment. Basically, if you do this type of exercises in your local machine directly, sometimes you'll get some incompatibility issues, like your Python pandas or some other packages are not matching. But here, when we use a virtual environment Python, this is the environment I have, which is bounded with these packages. So the next time I can use the same environmental package, you can do it. In real time, sometimes in the DevOps team, for example, if you give suppose your code, okay, I'm giving some my Python code to the DevOps guy, and I'm asking, hey, I want to execute this in the cluster. Can you make me a separate pod for this package for my Python code because I want to share that API to someone. So in that case, what he will do, he will ask you, okay, give me your whole requirement.txt file, all the packages. Along with Python, you need to give that requirement.txt file, and we can share, we can get all your list of the packages. For example, if you're here, you can see Python version. So the version is 3.8 we have.
Okay.
So, but in real time, maybe the version is different. You'll get an issue. In that scenario, you need to give what is your Python version you are using and what are the requirement packages. For example, for the Python 3.8.118, suppose, okay, if I give pandas equal to 2.1.0 version. So let me check pandas 2.1.0 version Python compatibility. The pandas 2.2.0 supports Python 3. Okay. Suppose if I give this Python 2.2. Okay, like this, and if I execute, we make it a issue. It's taking more time than the
Oh,
previous. It's asking up for retry. If you see the log,
oh,
it will throw some pandas related issue. It is trying to install. Let me go to the top. If you check here, virtual Python arguments output. See, no matching distribution found for Pandas 2.3.0. So even okay, from versions you can see the versions, all the versions.
Okay.
Uh, that we need to check. So what I mean is, this is the problem. This is actually biggest problem in the real world when you are the problem with the versioning with the libraries and versioning with the Python. So it is expecting 2.1.0 requires Python greater than 3.9, but in my machine 3.88. So if you got any issue, then you need to check with the version first. What is the version I'm using? Is the version is compatible with the package or not? If not, you have to check and view the exact version. So for now, we don't have any issue in Airflow, but sometimes when
Okay.
you see this type of issues, then you first make sure that the pandas, because the problem, like you are using a very lower version of Python, some 3.7, 3.6, but you're using the higher version of pandas in those scenarios, sometimes it will not compatible. It will throw the error simply. We can understand, okay, this is something problem. Then you need to repair. Then you need to put your required version. That's why I said don't mention any version. It will take it by default based on the availability of the version of the Python we are using. So that this is the way you can use it. So this is very important on pandas related. So here we took the CSV file and we used the pandas and then we just filtered some small operation like a head, and that result we stored again as a the CSV here. Okay.
Okay.
And what if you want to do transformations? What if you want to filtering something? Yes, you can filtering as part of the process in Pandas. We can filtering the transformations, and on the next section we will see how we can connect with databases. What I mean is, suppose let's do like this. We will take Pandas. We will read. We will read from the. Now we discuss from the Git repository, right? Instead of that, we'll give input file. Input file, the pandas, and from the pandas, the result we will send to the database. Database. So we can send to database. We can take SQLite database. We can create a engine SQLite database. We can build this. And between in pandas, what we do is we are going to store our data. We are going to filter the requirement, and the result we will send to database. So this is will pass the CSV file. So this is from our local machine. So as you know, we are mounting, right? So we can put the mounting, and we use the same pandas for virtual environment, and you can use pandas, and that result you can sync to database. So this is we'll do in a one single DAG all these steps, like how we did the first day, the same we do today, we do on the next section, but this time we use pandas. So we use pandas for doing the transformation. Okay, so pandas are very simple and very friendly. You can use it. If you want to go more in depth on the pandas, I can explain more, lot of things. We will see more anyway, but still in future, if you want to go more, also I can give a lot of exercise. So if you know pandas is a one thing is enough as a data engineer. You can play in Python. Uh,
Okay.
so that is very important package. We can discuss more. We'll go slowly step by step. Uh, as you're new to Airflow and Pandas, I'm just going step by step. So, and because you need to practice, without you practice, this no meaningful, right? That's fine. So, have
Yes.
any
Yes.
doubts?
No,
Yeah,
this
okay,
topic is
very
new
good.
for me. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This topic is new, and definitely I'll go slowly. I'll explain more in depth. You'll get more practical things. So yeah. So now what I do is I'll give you a assignment tomorrow after covering this. I'll give you some requirement. You play with the pandas. Like tomorrow I'll cover some things about some transformations. I'll give you some other data or some other requirements. You can just play how we can do. I mean, you now you play pandas in Airflow, so you'll get both grip. You'll get Airflow as well as you'll get pandas. That's why I'm combining now. Instead of teaching Python locally, I'm combining those into pandas into Airflow directly. So you'll get an idea on the both scenarios.